So, Mark, did you see that video of the scorpion at Silver Sevens Hotel? This happened May 2025. This dude claims he got stung, and his attorney described it in the best way. He says, obviously, the Silver Sevens is probably on the lower end of the expensive hotels in Las Vegas. What a way to describe the place, the lower end of the expensive. That's generous, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. I just love that he gets stung and then he films the scorpion for like 10 seconds and the scorpion's just, I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't know if he hit it or if it like snorted a line or what, but it's like dancing and all confused. I would be freaking out. I would not be taking a video.
You haven't lived in Las Vegas unless you've been laying on your couch, watch a scorpion run by and freaked out. They are crazy and painful and all of that, but he doesn't want to sue them. He's just trying to get a resolution. He says they never even apologized.
He just wants a free room at the cheapest, most expensive. What the hell did he say?
So I wanted to start the show with something cool. One of the neatest things about doing this show is hearing from people that are local or people who follow our content. And one of our MTM Diamond members on the travel side works at UNLV Libraries and saw the Las Vegas Then and Now book that's behind me, and works with Soo Kim Chung, who wrote the book. It also works at UNLV Libraries, and got me an autographed copy of it. So I have a new autographed version. It's the updated version that's going to go sit back there now. And then also I got a bunch of postcards from UNLV Libraries, Mark, and look at this. Pink Pony Cafe. Look at that. I always talk about the Pink Pony at Circus Circus. There you go. Doesn't get better than that.
See, everybody else just knows about it because of the song, right?
I guess.
It's not about a cafe. It's a club, but same thing.
Same thing. But thank you so much. I mean, what incredible. Thank you to Soo Kim Chung for the autograph. It's going to go live up there behind me. Try to share some of the cool postcards, some of this old artwork of showgirls, all kinds of cool stuff that I'll be able to share with you guys on future shows. But let's talk about my beloved Green Valley Ranch. We've been in the middle of this $200 million transformation. We've talked about their new rooms. They unveiled some new suites, though, that we hadn't seen the looks of before. And they are really just nailing this room design. Very earthy, very luxury feeling. It really has elevated it. That place is starting to feel like Durango a little bit.
Yeah, it looks really great and modern and fancy and high end. And these rooms look huge. Like I could live there.
Yeah, I love the stonework over by the TV. They brought some of these interesting elements. You can tell they spent money on this. They're also redoing parts of the casino. They've been doing this forever. We talked about their new high limit rooms, which were a year or two back, I guess, that they did that. And now this rest of the casino is starting to take on a lot of that look, which is a lot of stone. It's just really has elevated the property. This was their first luxury property. Red Rock followed that. And I think they learned a lot with Durango, and they're kind of incorporating a lot of that. And that includes the carpet, because here is what the new carpet looks like. And boy, does that look almost exactly like the carpet at Durango.
Yeah, I mean, it stands out more here, I feel like, though, because it's such a contrast from what was there. I like it. I know some people might not. It's a little bit trippy, but I think it shines out really nice.
Yeah, I think once it's all done, and I mean, I'm a little mixed on it. I'm going to be honest. I do like it over Durango. They can't really go with some of the cooler colors we see with some of these other bold, like fountain blues colors and stuff. It's a Italian themed resort, and so they have to stick within certain color patterns, and I think that they've nailed it. But I would say that all of the areas that they've redone in this casino have elevated that area to beyond what it was before, to be up to like Durango level. And that's been impressive. I didn't expect them to go this far. Still more to come, more renovations in their food hall and all sorts of stuff. But excited to get to see this place get love. It's not, I mean, I guess it probably does get enough love. I talk about it a lot. A lot of people talk about it. It's a cool place.
Yeah, and it was nice before they started updating things, so it's just going to get better.
Yes, and what's also better, Mark, this new type of gaming salon, Park MGM, has said they want to do this new type of private gaming salon where they film you. So this is an interesting evolution here. We talked about Plaza's streaming room, right? Where you can just go in the non-smoking room over there, and they're streaming certain hours of the day, and they're just looking at different people, and that gets shared widely, and you're kind of agreeing to that. But we've talked about other rooms. We talked about Park MGM, that they were installing some streaming setup, but now it seems like they want to, not only for like influencers and stuff, they just want regular people who might want to just like film their own play and then buy it from them with like professional quality or something. First of its kind. It's going to be before the Nevada Gaming Control Board, and it's recommended for approval. And I bet that we'll see a lot more of these. They say the reason Park MGM is because of its location near T-Mobile Arena.
Yeah, what do you think? Like, where's the clientele here that want most people that are high end? I feel like don't want to be filmed. So this is kind of a step away from that. I get it when it's the influencer type of room and stuff like that. That makes a lot of sense to me. I just don't know. Like, do they want to play it back and relive their wins and losses and kind of like critique themselves?
I guess. I mean, I thought this was mostly for influencers to come and for them to be able to work with the property, and it does seem like that's the case. And we had talked about that previously, but this is the first time I had heard the yeah, like film yourself. And they actually say it's like the roller coaster. You can go on a roller coaster, and some of them have like video, and it like films you going on the roller coaster, and you buy it at the end. That's literally how they describe this, and so that is their vision for it.
So they just want to like watch themselves lose 20 grand again the next day.
Or maybe, and hear me out on this, it's a little weird, but these gambling influencers are so big, maybe you just want to live that experience for the day yourself with a similar kind of footage and that production quality.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I could see that being kind of fun, especially if you have like a if you're doing like a bachelor party, bachelorette party, or some type of get together with your friends. I could see that being better than just like a one off me sitting there by myself getting ticked off as I lose. I don't think that would be very enjoyable.
We're almost at 60,000 subscribers. Help us get there. Just a few hundred away. If everybody who watched this subscribed, we'd be well over 100,000 by now. So help us on the road there. Do it now. But let's talk Excalibur Tiki, Mark. I finally got over. I had a weird day. I'm going to talk about it over several shows, but I ended up going from like MGM to New York to Wynn to Excalibur. So just all kinds of extremes. But let's talk Excalibur Tiki. I love this place more than I expected to from all the pictures and stuff I had seen. We were supposed to go over there last time you were in town and didn't make it over there. I don't think people have been talking about the carpet in there enough. I know there's a lot of carpet content on this show, but you're going to have to suck it up and deal with it because this carpet is sexy, vibrant, and beautiful.
When I saw your videos and in the picture, like the outward facing part of the bar, when you're in the casino looking at it, it looks kind of cheap, kind of thrown together, not all that great. And then when you see like the inside, when you get in there into the heart of it and you see all of the decorations and the color scheme, and like you said, the carpet, even the chairs and the tables match really well in there. And the night is even cool. They didn't go full medieval tiki, but they brought a little bit of it in there. And they really did a great job here, I think.
What are the odds that the plans for this place didn't have a medieval knight tiki guy? And then
And
we
watched us.
mentioned it on the show, and then they added it to it, and it came to life. I think that we invented medieval tiki.
I hope so. Let's lean in a bit more. Like lean all the way in. It would be awesome.
And I think one of the major aspects of medieval tiki, I guess, is old school black and white movies. I don't quite understand why those are playing inside the tiki bar, but the vibe in there is cool. It looks like, you could have performances in there. And I agree, the bar out front it's sort of a half attempt at making it tiki. But once you get inside, it's great. Just a lovely place to be. And it elevates Excalibur. And that's a huge compliment to the place. So go check it out. And they have those happy hour specials. Very cool. And there was almost nobody. The casino was busy. Unfortunately, there was only a few people inside the bar, though.
Yeah, I mean the center bar they added is great. This is great. Do we stop calling it Dirty Castle? Is it Tiki Castle now? What do we do?
No, we're going to call it Dirty Castle because removing all your check-in desks is dirty, Mark. And we've talked about this before, but I was just walking through there and I decided to take this perspective to show you guys because this is like the grand lobby of the past. I think Excalibur was the largest hotel in the world when it opened. It's been replaced by many others since then, but I always remember that lobby and it was just like check-in desks for miles. It's like that long rectangular shape. And now it's so sad because they've built that half wall to like block out the check-in desk behind. And then there's just a row of a gazillion kiosks. And then there's like one or two check-in desks down in the corner. And it's just sad to see this because, I mean, Luxor's is the same way. Not quite to me as bad as this, but these giant check-in areas now just like half cordoned off and they're trying to fool you. There used to be people standing there.
Yeah, I remember this was the first place we stayed. The first time we went to Vegas when we were 22, 23, somewhere in there. And I was just in awe of how many people were at check-in desks. And there was even another like 20 or 30 there unmanned, but they had half of them manned. And it was just like an awesome sight. And now you see this and it's kind of depressing. And half those kiosks probably won't work most of the time. And so it'll just be frustration there. But yeah, and they did it kind of, like you said, half wall, looks kind of half. You know what I want to say.
Yeah. So back to the Dirty Castle. They don't get upgraded from there, even though I do love the Tiki Bar. We love the new center bar. They've done some really good stuff there. The new carpet, lots of good stuff over there and compliments for them. And we talked a lot about Cadence Crossing, moving over to new casinos, and it's been getting built and it's almost done. And it's going to replace Joker's Wild over on Boulder Highway. Finally, Boyd Gaming, after we just watched them implode the cannery last week. Well, we're watching Cadence Crossing. March 25th will be the opening day. It will open at noon to the public. Fancy VIPs will be there before. And there you go, another new casino. And then they're going to have to blow up the building next door, although no implosion on that one.
It's just crazy how close I mean, you can touch both at the same time, which is wild. And we went out there when there were still early stages of it. So it's impressive to see this aerial shots of them right on top of each other. You would think that they would just combine them and kind of rehab the other one and have double the space, but that's not in the plans. They probably don't need all that square footage, but it's cool that they're able to fit it in the same footprint essentially.
Yeah, I think because Cadence is more of an upscale community, they're really just trying to elevate the offering. It's still going to be a locals casino, a couple restaurants. We don't know a whole lot about the offerings, but it's going to be very similar to what Joker's Wild is. And hearing that maybe that Joker's Wild land will be expansion for Cadence Crossing, they're already looking at that. So maybe just the building wasn't built to last, and they just determined that it had to go. But sad to see Joker's Wild, no closure date announced, but you would have to think very close to the time that they open the casino that's 2 feet away.
Oh, we need a final walkthrough video.
Yeah, I'll get over there. You've watched the show. Now go watch the after show on Patreon. We do an after show, live streams, other bonus content behind the channel. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas. A great community of Vegas lovers. Thanks to everybody in our Patreon. So much fun doing stuff over there.
All kinds of stuff.
That sounded dirty. So we talk a lot about the Las Vegas numbers and is Las Vegas down? And we're going to talk about the Las Vegas Visitor Report for 2025. Every year, the LVCVA does a survey, and this year, 5,400 interviewees answered, and they talk about why they came to Vegas, who they are, to try to tell us how things are going. Now, the wider Vegas narrative, this is still driving me nuts, Mark, because people are still with this Vegas is empty thing. Did you see on Twitter, I shared this video that was going viral, and they were trying to show Vegas is dead, right? And they were showing the Masquerade Village section of Rio, and I was just laughed, and I said, if this is what you're going to use to say Vegas is dead, I got thousands of videos of this place with nobody in it. It's not really compelling.
Well, it's the same thing we've said where people do film at like 4 a.m. on a Tuesday morning and are like, oh, there's nobody in Vegas. It's just clickbait crap.
No, I know, but you couldn't pick a worse spot. Like everybody who knows Vegas knows that spot's always empty. I mean, you could go there anytime. It's always empty, but Las Vegas is not always empty. And, you know, the mixed stuff. We talked on our travel show. If people want to go check that out, we looked at the wider numbers for the travel industry, for occupancy and rooms and all that, and how Vegas really is kind of standing alone and dragging the numbers for the entire industry down. And that's a wider conversation. But what is actually going on in Vegas? And I think one of the first takeaways I had from this visitor survey is that first timers are disappearing, that they're not coming back. In 2025, only 10% of visitors were here for their first time. In 2024, that was 14%. But back in 2022, in that revenge travel stuff, 24% of people were first timers. Those people are they coming back? I don't know, but we're not attracting the new people anymore.
I think part of that is what we've talked about, though. The younger generation, they have more access to things than we did. There's online sports betting, there's online gambling, there's a ton of local casinos now that didn't used to be there. It used to be mostly only Indian reserve casinos, and now lots of states have passed those laws, and most of the states have the online access stuff. And it just isn't the same as it used to be, where you're like, hey, we're 21, we got to go to Vegas. We want to go for March Madness. We want to go for the Super Bowl. Now you can go to your local pub or bar and do the same thing. And it just isn't reaching them the same way. And that's something Vegas needs to figure out. Like, what can we offer that you can't get elsewhere? There's tons of stuff that Vegas offers that you can't get elsewhere. It's just they're not marketing to the people that way. At least that's my take on it.
And they're not reaching the poor people, or the poor people can't afford to come here. And that's
What about
evident by the
Silver
income.
Seven? Seven's the cheapest,
Yeah,
most expensive
the
casino.
cheapest, most expensive hotel. I mean, it's a compliment. They just even put Silver Sevens in there. So shout out to that attorney. But only 25% of people made $100,000 or less in their household who visited. That number is just startling to me. I'll throw up the entire income breakdown on screen, but you'll see that the vast majority, the biggest group of people are 150K or more, the highest income group in the survey.
Yeah, and that goes to affordability. And it's not even about like the rooms, because you can still get good room deals there at the lower end properties. They know that it's going to be expensive to eat, to drink, to do all those things. To go to a show is going to be several $100s. I mean, just to go watch The Wizard of Oz is going to cost me and my son over $200, which is crazy for a movie. I mean, it's epic. It's going to be something one of its kind, but it's still kind of jaw dropping, a movie that's been around for 100 years now. And I think that just drives those people away. Plus they have their other issues with cost of inflation, everything else. It's eating away at their budget, and they can't go as many places, do as many things as they used to maybe once be able to do.
And speaking of budget, looking at gambling budget, people are gambling more. So less people coming, but wealthier people coming, gambling more. If you look at the gambling budget over the last 5 years, in 2021, $717, and in 2025, $848. Part of that, I guess, inflation, but people are gambling more than ever. And we saw that represented in the numbers where it would be less people and the revenues would still be up.
Yeah, and I think another thing that came out of this is people are going to less locations to gamble. They're staying at one or two casinos when they gamble, and they're not going around. And I think that's part of this being a more affluent person that understands maybe the rules of earning tier credits and things like that. And it's better to stay in a place for a certain amount of time, do your gambling there, or maybe they just like to be pampered, so they go to a certain place. Like, and this ties into newcomers. When you go to Vegas for the first time, you go to each casino, throw 20-40 bucks in, whatever it is, and you spread it around to try to check out every place. When you've returned to Vegas several times, you have your favorite places that you go to. And I think that just kind of the amount of people that we see, the way that we see them traveling here, and they're all returnees, they're just going to go back to those spots. They're not looking to go around Vegas and discover new things anymore.
This visitor survey has a ton of data. We're just covering some of the more interesting points. I think for anybody who loves Vegas, there's a link in the description. You should absolutely dive through this. We could never cover everything that's in here. Another interesting takeaway is people are staying in hotels less last year, slightly down. People are staying with friends and relatives more than ever. And I think that's probably the group that can't afford it. Just that goes with the whole cost thing.
Well, where's my couch surfing invite, Shawn? Come on.
Yeah, my couch is not available right now. But I mean, I think that's a big thing. It's a different experience, though, a different type of trip, I think, when you're staying with somebody versus being on the Strip. Even when I'm on the Strip staying there, I just was staying there last night. It's a different experience for me versus just going from my house to go visit there. So I think it's probably not as much fun, but probably more of an economic reality these days.
Yeah, and I think people are more about spending time with friends and family than maybe they would have been in the past. I don't know, it just seems like we're leaning that way as a society a bit more, like having more intimate experiences. So maybe they just are going to Vegas and not wanting to gamble or go to the Strip, but they're going there to visit family and things like that. And part of that is going out to dinner or something like that.
So the last metric is really satisfaction. 87% of people who came to Vegas are very satisfied, 10% somewhat satisfied. So almost everybody satisfied in some way. And this has actually gotten better over the last few years, which is interesting to see. But then when they dove into the numbers, yeah, probably. But when they dove into the numbers to say, if you were, mostly satisfied, what weren't you satisfied with? If you look at the price, that number skyrocketed. So all the people who are saying, yes, I enjoyed my trip, I just enjoyed it less because of the price. That's what this seems to indicate. So this is going to be the story. It really is price. How can Vegas sustain? I mean, the world, there's a lot of things with inflation and all this sort of stuff. How can Vegas deliver the value? We've talked about this ad nauseum. And the visitors are starting to say, hey, this is important to us, even if we do love Las Vegas.
Yeah, and it's coming from the people that are the higher income earners, because those are the people coming to Vegas now. So it's not just people that are struggling with money or the lower end income people. If your pool of people that you're interviewing, most of them make 150K or more, or the biggest group of them, and they're the ones bringing up that, hey, it's getting a little bit pricey, then you have a problem. Part of that is what we're seeing, but that's also like, how do you dig out of that? Like Vegas has been completely built in this era around the wealthy person, getting them to the higher end properties and then charging them over the top for it. Like, how do you pull back from that and still backfill all the other places and make enough money to make it make sense?
Yeah, a lot of questions for Vegas, but none of this data seemed too far from what we've been talking. So I think if you watch this show, if you're this engaged in Vegas, then you probably already knew a lot of this stuff, and it's just supported. It kind of reinforces that what we have been saying as people, as fans, is true, and it needs to be listened to. And there is this huge disconnect. And I'd love to hear what people's thoughts are out there. Have you looked at the survey? Go dive into it. It's fun, a good 30 minutes of reading, and you'll learn a lot. So let us know what you guys think about anything we talked about today, the new type of gaming salon, Green Valley Ranch and all of its beauty. Do I cover it too much here on the show? The visitor survey, everything else we discussed. We do 3 shows a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'll be here Wednesdays solo, Mark back on Fridays, but we'll see you in a couple days with the new show. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Have a good week, everybody.